Hello all, welcome to Tech Capture. So we are here with one more amazing video on data engineering. So in this video, we'll create a data analytics project in which we'll work on both the layer, that is a data layer, ETL part, as well as the reporting layer. So I worked on a mini data management project in my past experience, so where we have to work on the different sources of the data. So I created multiple videos on data engineering as well. So in previous few videos I extracted the data somewhere from Python, somewhere I extracted the data from some databases. So there are different sources we have to work whenever we are working on the data management project. So suppose if you are working on the banking project, then you will get a source files from different source systems. Someone will FTP the file, someone will send file to a storage bucket, someone will send file to your FTP location. So a lot of different files you have to manage, you have to play with the files, you have to extract the data from the files, you have to load the data. So we are taking some real project experience, real project scenario here. So what we'll do, I will take an example. Okay, there is a global shop. Just take example of kind of Domino's. Okay, and what will happen, so Domino's have the offices in across the globe, like it is having offices or shops in India, it is having shops in UK, it is having shops in USA, and within this country also they have multiple shops in each country. So whenever they want to calculate their revenue, how they will calculate their sales, because each office have a different sales, so they have to manage this data. So each of these franchises or each of these the bigger shops have their data management system. Someone will upload data on daily basis, or their system will bring data on daily basis as soon as the person is purchasing some pizzas or making any order. So that data will be fed in the system and all the consolidated data will be sent to the data warehouse. But at the back end, how this process will work? Okay, so we'll taking one example here. Okay, so just example, we got requirement as an architect or as a data engineer, we get an requirement what we need to build as a data analytics project. Okay, so similarly in this case also we got some requirements. So I created one dummy requirement, so you will understand how a real-time project will work. Okay, so let's say we have one requirement for this data management system we have to build. So this is our global shops which available in USA, which is available in UK, which is available in India, and now we got functional requirement. So what the client also want a data upload portal where all shop managers will upload a data related to sales. So they will upload one file which is having a sales data. So they need access, or they need some web portal so they can upload their sales data from the web portal. Okay, so we'll build one web portal first. So once that data is uploaded from the web portal, because shop manager is nothing to do with what we are doing with the data, their role is to gather the sales data which is happened today or this month or this week, and then they will upload that data onto the web portal. So we cannot ask shop manager to work on the coding or Python, so they are not a technical person. So their work is just to upload data time to time, provide the data time to time related to their shops, so nothing else. So their role is just to upload the data, so that is a non-technical person. So we have to create some web portal. So just like uploading the image on the Instagram, they can upload their daily CSV file or monthly CSV file with a sales data. So we will create first one web portal where we can upload the CSV file. Now the data engineer roles begins here. Once the file is uploaded, that file should be stored somewhere, that file should be extracted the data, the file should have some data, and we have to extract that data, we have to load that data. That is a role of a data engineer after that. Okay, and at the end, so data collected from all the shops, so data collected from USA, data collected from UK, data collected from India, has to be loaded in a centralized data warehouse. So in Google Cloud we have BigQuery as a data warehouse. So what we'll do, we'll extract that data from all the files, all the location, and we'll load into the centralized BigQuery. So this is the functional requirement. Now client don't mentioned okay what we have to use, they mentioned this is our functional requirement. The data has to be collected using the web portal, data has to be loaded with proper checks, and data has to be visualized in a reporting dashboard. So whoever will be the sales managers or the CEO of the company, they can check, okay, the India is bringing the more revenue, UK is bringing less revenue, or how much orders placed in India this month, how much order placed in USA, which city is bringing more revenue. All these analytical decision they can take, and they can increase their sales or increase their market for the particular country. So that is a complete requirement we got. So now how we'll build a technical solution from this requirement. Okay, so just assume first is data upload portal, so we can create a simple web application for that. Okay, then data loading, so how we'll extract that data from the web portal. So for that we need some staging location, as it mentions store uploaded data in the staging location as the raw data. So we have to also maintain all CSV files, so we'll collect that file. So now I will go to the technical architecture, so how we are going to build this. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll create one web portal. So this is my web portal. So shop manager from India will upload their sales data file to this web portal. UK shop manager will upload their file, and USA shop manager will upload their file. So these files uploaded from a web portal, and then we'll collect this file from web portal and will be loaded into the cloud storage bucket. So we'll be creating simple Python Flask application here for this demo. Okay, and once the file is available in storage bucket, it will trigger the cloud function. Now I just want to spend some time here why we are using the cloud function. Now when the file is available in storage bucket, we have multiple options to load that file into the BigQuery. So we can load it using a data flow, we can load it using data fusion, we can load it using a cloud composer. Now when we are designing the solution, we have to look what is the best solution. So there might be multiple solution, but we have to think what is the best solution. But for this use case, I feel this is a cost effective solution. And apart from this project perspective, I already created video how to load data from GCS to BigQuery using data fusion, how to load data from GCS to BigQuery using data flow. So I thought of creating this new project where we load data from cloud storage bucket to BigQuery using a cloud function, because cloud function is very cost effective and easy service. So this is our simple use case, and we do not need to complicate our solution. So always remember, a complicated solution is not always the best solution. Sometimes a simple solution can be your best solution. Okay, so we are utilizing the simple solutions here. So we'll trigger our cloud function using the file upload. Okay, once file is uploaded and available in storage bucket, it will trigger our cloud function, and our cloud function will have Python code to detect the file as well as to load that CSV file into a BigQuery, so that our cloud function will detect the columns of the files, it will detect what is the schema of the file, and it will keep appending the data into our bucket, into our BigQuery table. So we will have one master table which will collect the data from all the files and will load into the master table. So master table will have a data for all the locations. So it will have data related to your India, it will have data related to UK, it will have data related to USA, and then we'll visualize data onto a Looker Studio. Okay, so that is a simple but very interesting data pipeline we are going to create, and this is a complete data analytics project. So I recommend you to just follow this video end to end, and you will learn a lot of services in Google Cloud. As well as you will learn how the data analytics project will work. Okay, now one thing here, so for sales data we need some dummy data. So what data we are using here as a dummy data, or do we have any sales data? So yes, we have some sales data here. I am using some dummy data. We'll be using, okay, one more thing here. So we are not creating here simple data pipeline, even though it is simple, but we are going to manage it like 100k of records, 1 lakh of records. So it is not only 10 records we are loading or 20 records we are loading. So we are loading more than 1 lakh record into our BigQuery table, just to see the performance, just to see if it will fail or it will succeed. So we are not going to work only on the small amount of data. So we'll work on the huge amount of data as well as a small amount of data here. Okay, so for sample data we'll be using the data set from the Kaggle. So Kaggle is the application, or I would say the site, which provide number of data sets available for public use, and for the data enthusiastic who can working on the data project or ML project, they can get the data from the Kaggle. Okay, so let me show you how we can log into the Kaggle and search for the required data set, and how we can use this data set from Kaggle. Okay, so let me go to the Kaggle now. So I am in my cloud console now in Google Cloud, not in Google Cloud, I am in my Google. So let me just search for Kaggle, okay, on Google. So this is, you can see machine learning and data science community. Just go to Kaggle and you can, I already registered, so I directly signed in. So you can go to dataset, and here you will find a number of data sets. Okay, so you can search for e-commerce. I already search e-commerce. You can search for e-commerce data, which is having the sales data. Okay, and you can see the data.cst 45 MB of file, so it is having like a lot of records. Okay, so I already downloaded the file, so you can download this file from here. Okay, so it will be a zip file and you have to unzip, then it will be a 45 MB. So let me show you. I already have this file. Okay, so let me go back. So I already have this file here. Okay, 45 MB data.csv. so let me just open this file. So it is a 45 MB, which is a huge file, so it is taking time to open. Okay, so this file is downloaded and you can see how much record it is having. So it is having more than 5 lakh record, 5 lakh 41,000. Okay, so what I did, I created multiple files from the single file. So instead of having all the countries, I created separate file for UK, I created separate file for India, I created separate file for USA, just for our project purpose. Okay, so if I go to the downloads, and I'll show you the dummy data we are having. So we are having this dummy data. So usa.csv, it is having some around 2000 records. Okay, so I purposefully created some small file and some big file. So this is having 292 records only. Okay, then I have another file UK, it is having around better more record, that is 2000 around. Okay, and then I have third file that is for India, and it is having around 1 lakh record. Okay, so we'll working on the small data as well as the large amount of data as well. Okay, so this is having 1 lakh record, 1 lakh 100. So we are going to work on these three files. So just assume we are a shop owner and we'll upload these files to the portal, and then the rest of the data pipeline will follow. So first we have to create one web portal, so the shop owners or the shop managers can upload the file. So that is the first part of our requirement. So I'll just go here. Okay, and what I will do, I'll just create one folder here. I'll just create one folder. I'll just go to, I already have my workspace where I have all my code libraries. I'll just create new folders here, new DE project. Okay, data engineering project, and I'll just open this, and I have to open the VS Code here. So I simply type first code and then CMD I will open, and then I'll type code space dot, so it will open VS Code in the same folder. So I don't need to again open the VS Code. Okay, so this is my empty folders. So I have to create first web application. So I'll just create one app.py file, or I'll just name it main.py. Okay, now see, you don't need to worry if you know the coding here. So we have to do a kind of coding here for simple web application, but we can get help from ChatGPT. So simply I will go to ChatGPT and I will ask here, help me to create simple web portal to upload file. Uploaded file should be stored in GCS bucket. Okay, so I simply mention web portal, so I'll mention as a Python Flask web portal. Web portal with index.html. Okay, so ChatGPT will help us with all required code here. So this is our HTML file first. So we have to create templates folder, and inside that index.html. So go here, create one folder templates, and inside template create index.html. Okay, and paste code here. Okay, then get the Python Flask. Okay, so this is our Python Flask. So we have to install pip install Python Flask Google Cloud Storage, but it is already installed in my system, so it won't ask me to install again. Okay, so one thing to remember here, so we don't need this service account key because I am using my default credentials. So how to use default credential? You can simply type. So once you have Google Cloud SDK installed, so make sure you have Google Cloud SDK installed. If not, you can simply go and type install Google Cloud SDK. Okay, so it will help you to install. Once it is installed, it will allow you to run all gcloud command. Okay, so here you have to use a Google Cloud without service account key. You can simply type gcloud auth application default login. Okay, so it will use your credential, it will not use service account credential. If you have full permission, then your application will have full permission. Now it will ask you to log in, you will log in. Okay, and now it will use your permissions, your application, your Python will logged in, or your system application will logged in using your ID. How you can validate that? So you can simply type gcloud auth list. Okay, you can see star means it is active and it is using my email ID. So let me clear it. So this is for avoiding service account key if you are using it in your local. Now let me comment this part then, or let me remove this. If you want to use a service account, you can keep this line. Okay, now I'll just test it if it is working fine. So let me execute python main.py. So it will execute my Python Flask application. Okay, it is running. Let me open and let's see if, okay, let's check if it is HTTP. Okay, now you can see it is a simple UI. It is just to choose a file and upload a file. Just make it bit better. Okay, so what we can do, we can just go to index.html we are having here, copy it, and we'll ask ChatGPT add header to this index.html. Okay, so it will help us with some header as well. Okay, let's copy this, save, and let's reload it now. Okay, my file upload portal. So I'll just change here. I will just give take capture data upload. Okay, simple title I will give here. Let me reload. Okay, tech capture. So here you can simply choose a file and upload data, but it should go to your storage bucket. So let's go first and create a storage bucket. So I'll go here. So I have buckets created earlier, so let me just create new bucket. So for this demo I'll just create a bucket with a name sales data bkt sales hyphen data. Okay, so this is the name I'm using. Continue, create. So you can use any bucket name available. Okay, so this bucket name is created. Let's put that bucket name in our code because our code is requiring this bucket name. Okay, so it's available. Now let's try if our file, we can upload our file. Okay, so let's reload this now and upload a file. I'll just choose one file. Okay, so I'll go to download. I have files in data. I'll just choose smaller file first and see if it will go to the, so now you can see the file name. Now let me upload. Okay, file uploaded to BigQuery sales data. So let's refresh and check here if file is available here. Okay, file is available. So file is uploaded here, but how the file came here? So we have to understand code as well. The ChatGPT helped us to create the code, but still we need to understand what we are doing with our code. So this is our Python Flask application which we created. Okay, and whenever this is a post method, okay, whenever we access the application, it will provide us index.html. okay, so the main function, it will provide us index.html, and this is option to upload the file. Okay, so if I go to the, again, this URL, so currently we are using is so local, so it will provide this the simple upload feature here. Okay, so suppose if no file is uploaded and if I click on upload, it will return no selected files. See, if no file is provided, it means the file name is blank, it will return no selected files. Okay, but if I provided any file, it will upload that file into storage bucket, and this is a bucket name we have provided. Once it is uploaded to storage bucket, it will return message file name uploaded to bucket, so that we already seen. So it will return a message file name uploaded to storage bucket name. So this is a simple code we have created, and our requirement is only to create a web portal to upload a file. Okay, so we created that web portal. Now we have to collect that file. So let me open, let me close few tabs here. Okay, so now we have web portal to upload a file, but we have to collect that file and we have to load that data into the data warehouse. So as we already seen in our architecture, we'll collect file in the storage bucket, and storage bucket will trigger a cloud function. Now we have to create a cloud function. So let me go to the cloud function. So I'll open a cloud function. So I have multiple cloud function in my environment. Let me create a new one. Okay, so I will choose a second generation as it is having much feature. I will give the name sales data load. So as I said, I'll be using my cloud function to extract and load the data into BigQuery. So we are not using the data flow, we are not using data fusion, we are directly loading using the cloud function. So for that we need a Python code. So I already have Python code, so I tried with the help of ChatGPT as well, but it is not giving much optimized code. So I have a code as well, so I will use that. So before that, let's create a cloud function. So it is a second generation cloud function. I will given the name, a region you can choose central one. Trigger type should be a cloud storage. So our cloud function should run whenever someone uploads the file into our bucket. That is our requirement. Okay, so when uploaded, it means a finalized method. Okay, so I will use this method, finalized bucket. I will choose our bucket which we created now, and where our files will go once uploaded by a shop owner or a shop manager. So I'll select this. Okay, I will not choose any other options. I'll simply go on next. So before giving my actual code, what I will do, I'll first test it because it's simple. Now if I give file name, I understand, okay, this is the USA file, but how my cloud function will understand which file is uploaded? So we have to get that from the cloud function event. So you can see my screen now. So this is I am running the dummy function whenever we go to cloud function screen and create on cloud function. So this is auto generated code, so I have not written this code, this is already available from the event. So what it is doing, it is getting the data from the event. So what is the data it is getting? So it is getting the bucket name where the file is uploaded, it is getting the name, that is the file name. Okay, it is printing these details as well. So it is printing when the file updated, when the file created, what is the name of the file, what is the name of the bucket, all these things it is printing. So simply first deploy this as it is. I'm not using my code for now, so I have to deploy this and I have to show you something here. Okay, so let me deploy it first. Mean that while the time it is deploying, let me pull a code I am having in my notepad++. So let me go to the notepad++. So I have here a Python code to load the data into BigQuery from the file name. Okay, so let's first check this cloud function. So okay, this cloud function is deployed, okay, and it is having only the initial code. As I said, it is only printing the data from the event, which file is uploaded to which bucket, and I want to test it. Okay, it is giving the correct information. So what I will do, I will just upload file and see. I will just upload uk.csv and I will see if it is triggering the cloud function. So if it is triggering, it is giving the correct file name, then I will put my code to load data into the storage bucket. Okay, so let's check the logs. Let's reload it. Okay, now it is successful and you can see it printed all the values. Bucket says data is bucket and file name UKCSV. So means it is executing without any issue. Now I will go to source and I will add code to load data into BigQuery. Okay, so I have code here. I will explain you the code as well. I'll just paste my code here. So I'm just adding one more function. So I am adding a load BQ function which will accept file name as a parameter. Okay, then it is creating the BigQuery client. Okay, it is declaring the file name variable and it is giving the information related to table name, in which table data has to be loaded, and this is the load job config class. So I will mention all the details. So before that, let me just get all the required import functions as well. So let me paste. So whatever I'm using, I'm just importing, and in requirement.txt also I have to add a Google Cloud BigQuery. Okay, I'll simply add a Google Cloud BigQuery. Let me go to the code. Okay, and after this function I have to call this function. So I'll just call this function. Okay, so file name, so where file name is defined, so instead of this name I will use a file name, because this is the name of a file, and here also I will just mention file name. Okay, bucket name, either I can get it from here or I can hard code. So as we are aware about our bucket name, so let's copy this bucket name and directly put here, which is the file URI. Okay, now what are the job config we are using? So job config we are inbuilt using the load job config class. So if you Google for this class, you will understand what are the parameters or what are the options we have inside this job config. So this is a class load job config Python library, and here you will see all the options. So out of these properties we are using a few of the properties. So let's say what we are using here. So okay, we are in our sales data. Okay, so we are using source format, we are using skip leading rows. Okay, so we are using skip leading rows, we are using source format. So all these values we can use, and we are using these values here. So why we are skipping first row? Because our CSV file is having header in first row, and okay, so having a header in first row, so that is why we are skipping the first row. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll create first a data set and table first. Okay, so let go to the open a new tab, open a BigQuery. So either you can create a table, or you can let your cloud function create table for first time, but then you have to use your headers as well. So let me create a data set. So I will create data set named sales data set. Okay, create data set, and this data set is created here, we can see. Okay, so the sales data set is created, but there is no table, and we are not creating a table, and our job will create table for us. Okay, so let's go to our function here. Now it is a table name, this is a data set name, we are calling the function as well. So hope we are good. Now let's save it, deploy it, and let's see if our function will execute and load data into a BigQuery. So we'll load all the 3 files. So first we'll load, so you can delete these files or you can put, because it will load only the newly uploaded file, so it won't do anything with the older file. And we are storing these files for our purpose, for our archival as well. In case there is any data issue, we can go back and check the source file, that what was the data on that particular file. So let's wait for this function to get deployed. Okay, function is deployed. So now what we'll do, we'll test our function, we'll upload small file first, and we'll see if it will load our data. So this is 200 record for USA, so we'll upload. As soon as we upload, it should immediately trigger our data. Okay, so we should have uploaded from our portal instead of directly bucket. So next file will upload from portal as per our requirement. Now let's go and now reload the log. Okay, now you can see immediately the file picked up and it loaded 291 records into orders table. So let's go to BigQuery, just reload it, so our table will reflect, because table was not created earlier, and our job should create table for us. Okay, sales orders. Okay, now you can see we haven't mentioned anywhere what should be the columns of our table, but how it created the table with the same column which was there in the CSV file. It is because we used one flag here. I'll show you which flag we used. So if you go to this class which use job config, so there is one flag auto detect. So we used auto detect true, which will automatically infer the schema from sample of the data. So it will check our CSV file and it will create the same column name for our BigQuery table as our CSV file headers. Okay, now it is created with the same. So let me show you the code, which was the we used auto detect flag in job config, and that's why it didn't ask, or we don't need to use any kind of schema for our data load table. Let me show here in notepad plus plus here. So here we have auto detect is equal to true here, that's why it detected the schema from our columns. Okay, so let's check the data. I'll check in preview. So first it should have only USA data. You can see all data is related to USA only. So I'll just query data as well first. Okay, so let's do star here and let's see. Okay, so we are having USA data. Now let's see what we'll do. we will just monitor our data country, and it is count of star, and then we will use a group by country. So it will show which country is having how many orders. So currently we have data only for USA, so it will show USA 291 orders. I will just give the column name as number of orders, as this is the sales data. Okay, this is for USA. Now what we'll do, we'll just upload bigger file, but now you will upload it from our portal. So the shop manager will upload data from portal. Now we'll go for UK data, which is having around 3000 record, 2 to 3000 record. We'll upload it. Okay, file uploaded. Let's check in bucket first, refresh. Okay, UK data is also here, and definitely our cloud function also executed within few seconds. So it is loading, and you can see 2533 records loaded. Now let's see, the file is having 2533 records. Let's see how much is in a BigQuery. I'll execute the same query again. Now it should show us a United Kingdom 2533 records. See, United Kingdom 2533. So our data is loaded correctly for USA. Now I will upload the biggest file, which is having more than 1 lakh record. I'll see if our upload will work. Okay, so I'll just choose a file. I will choose India file now, which is having more than 1 lakh record. If it is failed, we'll see how much data it can handle. Okay, it is uploaded, no issue while uploading in storage bucket, even though there are 1 lakh record. But now we'll see if cloud function can handle. So let's reload the log. Okay, it is loading. So let's wait for log. Okay, and it's loaded. You can see 1,99,000 records loaded into the orders tables. So it took the same amount of time, hardly few seconds more. But even though there are 1 lakh record, the cloud function is powerful enough to load that record into the table in short amount of time. So now let's reload and see. India is having 1,99,000 records. So now we have data from all the countries, all the shops. Let's see consolidate data. So what I will do, I'll just do star now. Okay, let me select this only. Now this is my master table. Okay, sorry for my mistake. So this is my master table, which contains a data for all the country. So it should have all the orders across the globes. You can see it contains order for USA, then it contains the order related to all the countries. So we already seen, because I'm not able to scroll down more, but we are having data related to all country. If I do order by country, it should show me other countries at the top. Currently it is showing USA. Now it should show India. Okay, so we are having data for all the countries, but now this is our raw data. So I need to show something. So here, if you can see, if you check for first order, this is invoice number. Okay, 2 quantities, unit price is 765 and 2 quantity, but how much total amount he paid, it is not here. So we have to multiply 765 into 2, that will be a total cost of the order. So I'll just create one query for now. Why we are creating query, I'll show you. I will do select star first, comma, then I will use Here I will use quantity into unit price, okay, as cost for order, or it is just, I will just mention the total cost for this item, okay, and then from will be same, so this will be same. So what will happen, it will add one more column now which will give me total cost. Now you can see alongside to quantity of price 7.65, it is also added one more column 15.3. so this data was not available in CSV file, but we created a transformation to get a desired data. But now how I should display that data? So what I will do, I will create a new view with this data. So I'll just create. Now I have to create a views first for master. So I'll create, so select that query first thing. I will just paste this query in new tab, and I will show you what I am going to do. Okay, so I am going to create a new view. I'll create a new view. Data set should be my sales data set, and view name I will just give master sales view. Okay, so it is having view of all master data, so it created a view. Now I have to create 3 more views. So why 3 more views, I will tell you. So now I have master table which contains all the data, but suppose I have requirement, I have to give access to someone only for their country. So suppose I have to give access someone only for India related data. So here I will add a filter where country is equal to India. So let me first try if it is giving output or any smaller case or uppercase. Okay, so now it is giving data only related to India. Okay, that is fine. So I will create view for India. Data set same, sales India sales view. Okay, similarly I created for USA as well as. So let me check the file name, actual value for USA, it is USA. Okay, not you. Okay, USA. So let me just put it USA. I'll just copy it in new tab and create view for USA. Sales view, and it shows data only for USA along with the total cost. Okay, and now I have to create one more view, last view for a UK. So UK, I think it is United Kingdom full value. So let me copy it from the Excel. Okay, let me run it and see if I'm getting the value. Yes, I'm getting the value. Let me save it. I will explain you why I'm creating the view. Just allow me 5 more minutes. I'll come to that point. Okay, now you can see what our sales data set contains. So sales data set contains orders table, which is our master table. Okay, then it is having a completely raw data what is coming from the file. Then we created our own view which is having additional column apart from the data coming from file. Okay, and it is completely having data across all the countries. This is our master view. Then we have India sales view, which is having data related to only India. Then UK sales view, which is having data related to only UK. And then USA sales view, which is having data only related to USA. Now our requirement was to create some visualization so the company CEO or the sales team or marketing lead can see which country is bringing a more revenue, or where are the most orders are placed in which country. Okay, so let me go to Looker Studio. So you can use a Looker Studio for reporting, which is a free service from Google Cloud. So I will create new. Here you can simply go and click new report, and it will ask you to connect to dataset. So immediately it will ask you to connect to dataset. So I will choose a BigQuery as my dataset. I will choose my project. I will choose sales dataset. Okay, and then I will choose my master view first. Let me just move it here. Add. So it will bring all my data here. Okay, so just let me give the name to this report. I'll just give the name global sales. Okay, and now suppose I will just first, this is a global report, so I will not put a direct table here. So first I will put some chart. So suppose first I will put a chart, bar chart here. I will delete the below table, and this is my chart. So what I want to show here, so I want to show which country is having more orders. So you can see India, how much orders are there, more than around 100k, as we see UK 2500, and USA. So this is my first chart. So I will create one more chart. I want to see in which quarter I had more orders. Okay, so I will just create one more chart, and I will create it. So instead of invoice number, I will create it on invoice date, but the format should be not a date. So my format should be, I'll check here, and year quarter. So it should show me the data based on quarter. So when, in which quarter I had more orders, so you can simply say, so it is showing the quantity. So I don't want quantity, I want count of. So I just want count of. Okay, so instead of, I'll just put invoice number because it is a unique one. Or so in which I had a total 277.5 orders here. So one invoice number having multiple quantities. So if I go for count, I'll go for record count, so it will give me the number of orders. Yeah, so for each quarters it is giving me, for Q1 2011 it is having 60,000 orders, for Q4 2010 it is having 40,000. So it is giving me revenue per quarter. Now suppose I will put the data. So this is my summary. I will create as, I will just bring it, scroll it down. Okay, and I will just add a text box. So this is my summary page, sales summary. Okay, and here I will just increase the font size to 20, or I will keep it more, 72. Okay, so this is my sales summary. So you can just change the page color as well if you want. You can simply go to page, current page setting. I'll change this style, I will change the color. Okay, so this is my record count. Okay, so for record count I will just click on it and I'll change the name to number of order. Think I'm not able to click somewhere. Yeah, you can see now number of orders. Okay, and here also you can change. I'll just click on here and I will change it to number of order. So it will change that value name to the number of orders. So I'm just creating visualization so the CEO of the company can see all these visualization. I'll just change, this is also not looking good. I'll just change the font style. Okay, I'll just change to this font size. Now this is a like summary view, but I have to create a detailed view as well. So I'll create one more page. Okay, so this page I will name as a summary. And this page I'll just name it as a detailed. Okay, so in detailed what I will do, I'll just put a table, not here, I'll just add tables. Okay, and I will add all the data. So I'll just add all the columns. I won't add the invoice count. I'll just add country, I'll just add description, I'll just add total cost. Okay, so these things I will add, and I'll just, now suppose I have this data for each country. Now suppose there is any requirement for support teams or the persons, so they want to analyze some data, they want to see what were the item for particular invoice number. I will just add control for country as well. I don't want the description, I want country here. So why I added these filters? So now let's go to the view and I will show you. I am in view mode. I have summary view which is having some graph and summary view. Now in detailed, suppose I want to see which were the item purchased under this invoice number, I can simply go and search this invoice number only. Okay, and it will show what were the item purchased under this invoice number. You can see, so there was one card dolly girl, there was one elephant birthday card, jumbo bag, all these items were purchased under this. Now suppose I don't want to go by order number, I want to see by country, all orders in USA. So I will go and select the filter USA, and there are all orders under the USA. So you can just play around using your visualization dashboard. So I'll just add page setting to this page as well. Page setting, current page setting, I'll change the color for this page as well. Okay, and so this table is not looking good. You can simply click on this table, go to style, and you can just header and background colors, I can put black. I don't want, I'll put yellow. Then suppose you want background color. Okay, so you can do the design you want, and this is our report, and simply we can schedule this report to the recipient. So suppose the CEO of the company or any of the person, so I am scheduling it to myself. Okay, and I will just send. I want to test it if it is sending fine. So sometimes it takes around 5 to 10 minutes if we are scheduled. Now it is showing report sent. Let's go to the mail and check if we received report. And you can see I received this email through scheduled delivery. So this is sales summary first page, and this is the second page. So I created very basic visualization, so you can create the visualization you want. I just want to show the conceptual view. So here it is coming as a PDF attachment. Okay, and you can simply go to reports as well by clicking this option. So now we created end-to-end data analytics project. User can upload data from a web portal. So you can simply deploy this Python Flask application on App Engine, so it will be accessible across the internet. I showed only the view at the local, but you can deploy it. So I have created multiple videos on how to deploy on App Engine, how to deploy on Cloud Run. So our main idea is to it should having the web portal, so can access and upload the file for a sales data. So we uploaded the file. The file will be stored in storage bucket. The cloud function will be triggered, and cloud function will load the data into BigQuery, and then we visualize data on the Looker Studio. So we created this end-to-end data pipeline as well as data analytics dashboard. So hope you understood this project. If you stuck somewhere, just let me know in comment section and I'll try to help you out. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you again in our next video.